Please, please, please learn from my investing mistakes. Oh my goodness, my friends, my friends, my friends, my friends. So I have good credit because I pay my bills. Shocking. You pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a whole lot of debt anymore, thankfully. Thank you, good Lord. I'm working on my mortgage, and we have a car loan that we're paying significantly big amount for on a regular basis that hopefully will be paid off in 18 months or so. And then I do have 4 kids, one of which is out, thanks to the good Lord, and her student loans are paid. My other 3, one's in UGA, right at the University of Georgia, so she has relatively cheap tuition because of Zell Miller. Thank you, Zell Miller, crushing. My other 2 boys are coming up, and we'll see how that shakes out. So we're going to have some student loan debt, I can see. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to have debt. I don't like it. I wish I did not have debt, but when you're raising 4 kids on basically one income, that's what you get. There's no other way around it. And I would not do anything else. I don't want a house on the beach if that meant I had no kids. I'll take my kids any day of the week. And if you think differently, it's okay. We can disagree. It's okay. Shh, don't tell Twitter. Don't tell Blue Sky. We can have disagreements and still be buddies. Anyway, so because my credit's good and my income's high and I live in a very wealthy, up-to-do, predominantly white community, how dare I get these 0% balance transfer things and all that stuff all the time. I've always had good credit because I saw my dad go bankrupt, I don't know, once, twice or something like that. I can't remember. And I saw when you have no access to credit, it's painful. I just saw him. Anyway, so I can't have that. So it's always appealing, or what's the word I'm looking for? You're always thinking, man, so let's just say I dropped $25,000. Like my most recent one, I got a balance transfer offer up to whatever my credit line with this one bank. We'll just say it's a Chase Bank. It was a credit union, but just use Chase for simplicity. You can, $35,000 credit line, we'll just use that. You could transfer it. I'm just going to use $25,000 because the numbers are nice. I say, okay. So I could transfer $25,000. All right, I could put $25,000 on my checking account, invest in a VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Index ETF, and do a balance transfer to Chase and pay 0 interest for a year. All right, so think about this. So basically what we're doing is we're saying, okay, I'm going to leverage the market because the market, as we know, as I've said a million times a Sunday, goes up more than it goes down on any given day, any given month, and any given year. So you are the bookie, essentially. You're saying, well, historically, the market has done better than has done worse. Thus, this is a winning scenario for me. So I'm going to take 25,000 schmackaroonies. I'm going to invest it over here. And I'm paying 0% interest, all right, for the full year. 25,000 bucks. I'm going to invest it over here. Now, I have done similar to this. It wasn't 25,000, but it was, I used to do, back when I was coming up in the late 90s and 2000s, I did this for the max you could do into your Roth IRA back then. So I had around 25,000, maybe 40,000, I can't remember, and 0% credit card balances. That seems high, actually, but I can't remember, but whatever it was, that had 0%, which I thought was for the life of the loan, because I used to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. I put in the total stock index, VTSMX, because they didn't have VTI back then. All right, so if I did that, and last year, this was up 25%. All right, so this was up 25%. Off the top of my head, was 25 times 25%, 25 times 0.25. That was up $6,250, 6,250, right? 25, hold on just a second, my friends. 25,000 times 1.25, yeah, 6,250 bucks. So if I would have done that last year, I'd be up $6,250. Now, I actually have to sell this $25,000 in order to pay this back after a year. All right, so you got to sell it to pay that back for a year. So essentially you can do that. You can do specific identification, your lots. You're saying, I'm just selling this lot so I don't have taxes to pay. But let's just say I'm going to take the gains off the table, 6,250, and we're going to say a 15% capital gain minus 15%. That means I'm left with $5,312. All right, after tax, just for simplicity, because at some point you're going to have to pay tax. I'm left with $5,312. All right, so 5,312 divided by 25,000. That means I made 21% on my money after taxes. All right, so I used the bank's money, other people's money, OPM, right, and I made 21%. That worked like a charm last year. What happened in the aughts? This is where it killed me. In the aughts, the markets was not growing. The whole decade, the markets did not grow. So while I was leveraging my good credit to put 0% down or 0% interest on credit cards that I had, which I thought were for the life of the loan, well, it turns out those loans were called in at the great financial crisis. I remember calling it Chase Bank. I remember that like it was yesterday, which is why I'll never use Chase Bank again. I said, dude, I said, you owe, I can't remember what it was, $300 of interest. I was like, what the hell, dude? I'll never forget this. I was like, yesterday. Came back, saw my credit card bill, and I said, I wonder how much I got to pay this guy off because the markets were going down. Remember, they went down 57%, amigos. Not only did they go down 57%, many of us lost our income or at least had serious reduction of income, if not lost it outright. Many of us also lost the equity in our home. All right, so if you had a home equity line of credit, now your fair market value is below your outstanding loan, you're upside down, you lost your ability to access your credit line. On top of that, in this case, my interest rate went to 14.99%, which was supposed to be 0% for the life loan. I guess there's some kind of provision in there in the deep print that says, the deep state print, that if something happens, they can raise the interest rates for whatever. So now what I thought was just I had to pay basically minimum monthly payments on zero interest. Now my interest payment was 3 times what my minimum monthly payment was. On top of that, my income was dropping like a brick in water. On top of that, I didn't know if I was going to keep my job. You see what I'm saying? I remember like it was yesterday. On top of that, my equity in my house was dropping like a brick in water too. And I still had a home equity line of credit. Right? So now I'm sitting there thinking, I don't have any access to credit to pay this off. Well, you just sell your shares. Well, not in this case, because in this case, my shares are down 57%. So that $25,000, when in this case was up $5,300 when the market was up 25%. Well, after 2007, 8, and 9, that $25,000 is worth what? Half that, about $11,000. So even if I sold that $11,000, I still have outstanding debt, $14,000 right here. Even if I sold that, and that was that. I mean, that didn't even assume what happened in 2000, 2001, and 2. That was just 2007, 8, and 9. Yeah, it sounds good. You're like, it sounds like the chips are all stacked in your favor until they're not. And then when they're not in your favor, that's when the friggin' crap hits the fan. And you're like, what are you going to do then? You exhausted all your equity in your home. You exhausted all your line of credits. You have massive interest rates. On top of that, your portfolio is down 57%. You don't have enough equity to cover your debt. You see what I'm saying? You're stuck, and on top of that, your income is shattered. Essentially, is very is weak. You have lost your income stream because of whatever layoffs, AI. They're taking our jobs, all that stuff. Scary, scary place to be. Your income is compromised. That's the word I'm looking for. Don't invest like me, no matter how good it sounds. Oh, but I know George Soros. Dude, these guys are all chosen by the powers that be. You think George Soros, you think he leveraged other people's money like it's crazy. You think he did that on his own? Come on, man. There's people out there up to no good who control things, and they're absolutely taking the ticket. You think Snoop Dogg, for instance, just one day he happened across some rich guy in Hollywood, says, Snoop Dogg, you're my rapper. You're going to be the gangster rapper that we're going to promote so everyone gets hooked on smoking dope. And next thing you know, you're going to be working with Martha Stewart. Next thing you know, you're going to be sitting with Trump. You think just Snoop Dogg at the end of the day was just happened to be luck? No, he was chosen. Tupac. Remember Tupac's freaking, when he was auditioning for Oprah or something like that? Let's just put it this way, very light in his loafers, and all of a sudden he's like a gangster rapper. Come on, man. Come on. These people are chosen. Now, I mean, there's tons of white guys like that. Look at all the freaking white rappers in the, not rappers, white guys in the 80s with their freaking makeup and all that stuff. They're all playing a role, dude. Come on. Come on. And they're taking the ticket. If you don't take the ticket, you could make out, but you could lose. And what we're trying to do is not lose. Investing, number one, don't lose your money. All right, love your thoughts. Smash that like button. We'll see. I got to make a Costco run to get tuna because tuna is now on the outlets because they were so worried about, oh my goodness, tuna's so bad. So I hope they got some tuna up there because I want to buy it because I'm not worried. All right, God bless.